Tip 1. Get lots of candy. Valentine's Day is about eating sweets and being sweet. Get some of those good chocos. Tip 2. Wear pink and red. Pink and red are the super worry colors. Dress for the season. Tip 3. Get pretty flowers. Flowers smell good. Put them in your face and... Tip number 4. Make a card. If you make a card, then you can write whatever you want to whoever you want. Tip 5. Drink marshmallow cocoa. It's gonna be a chewy Valentine's this year, so drink some cocoa with pink marshmallows for added love. Tip number 6. Use lots of glitter. Glitter makes things all sparkly and pretty. Use it on your cards, your flowers, your shoes. Tip number 7. Go outside. What? Tip 8. Be sure to shower. No one wants your Valentine that's crazy. Tip 9. Feed the birds. Why? I don't know. I'm just really running out of these. And last but not least, tip number 10. How to confess to your Valentine. This is super important, so listen closely. The secret, the special secret to get your special someone to be your Valentine
is to just be yourself. Yeah, that sounds, hokey and really cliche, but think about it. If they love you, they're gonna love you for you. There really is no secret to confessing other than being a little confident to just go up and ask the person. And, if they say no, it's fine. Just walk away. That's it. It's not easy. You're definitely going to feel a little heartbroken, or hey, maybe you take it like a champ. But either way, you just have to respect that decision that they said no. And don't keep going after it, because there's a lot of people that, they think maybe they'll be with me if I just keep going and I don't stop. But that's the worst thing you could do. You just have to respect them as an individual and respect that they do not feel the same about you. And, it's always sad because it sucks that you always have to elaborate on the, what if the no option happens? But, if the yes option happens, then great, you're in a relationship and hope you guys stay together and live happily forever. But, you always have to anticipate and accept the fact that they will say no. And you also have to accept that it's not the end of the world. There's more than one person out there, and yeah, it feels like you'll never find someone like them, and in a sense that's true, because everyone is an individual. But what I am saying is that you can find someone who will be better suited. And the reason why I say that is because if you love someone and they love you back, then there's something about you two that attracts each other. And give it time, but you'll find that attraction comes from something special. And then you'll find yourself to be really happy. I mean, I never thought in my life I would see myself with a boyfriend, but, well, it's been over a year, Austin, and I can tell you that I love you.
magical is when all the couples come together and get to spend a special day. Hey, you wanna go around and ask what couples did this Valentine's Day? No. What do you want to do?
We should ask you questions. Yeah, you.
But why?
Well, I think it would be fun to get to know you. I mean, there's got to be a lot of people who know who you are by now. So maybe we should tell them about you a little bit.
Huh. A key on the corner by Cyborg Research.
Yeah.
Okay. Ask me some questions.
Okay, Cyborg. Are you ready to answer
Yes.
some questions?
Yeah.
You're the one in the hot seat now.
Oh, wow. This is so exciting. Really kind of scary, but I can do it.
Okay. Alright, first question. What do you think the meaning of Valentine's Day is?
Valentine's Day is about loving everybody and everyone. It's about spending this special day with the people that you think are special. And you want to make them feel special because they make you feel special. That's what makes Valentine's Day special.
Ooh, I like that one. Alright,
Yeah.
you ready? Question number 2.
Number 2.
If you had a big box of chocolates, how many chocolates do you think you could eat?
Well, I love chocolate, but my daddy told me that I can't eat all the chocolates at once because then I get sent to the basement. Then I spoil my appetite for dinner. So, I think I could eat the whole box, but I would only eat 10 chocolates.
Wow, 10 chocolates.
Wow.
Oh, speaking of wow. So Valentine's Day is a very pink holiday. It's a very pretty holiday.
Yeah.
How much glitter do you think Valentine's Day should have?
It should have as much glitter as Bloop wants. Because she really needs it for her boyfriend, Garfield.
Okay, Cyborg. Are you ready for another
Yeah.
one?
Yeah.
Okay, what do you think is more important on Valentine's Day? Spending time with loved ones, giving gifts to loved ones, or spending it alone?
Well, that's a tough one. I think that I said that Valentine's Day should be spent with people that you love. And what people love is you. So you really shouldn't have to spend any money. Gifts are nice and people like them, but what they like the most is you. So if anything, you should be spending time with people. Because your time means a lot. And spending it alone, well, everyone has friends. And everyone has something they love. If they like to go outside and love every moment of it. You went to a little stargazing? Look at all them stars and love it. Because Valentine's Day is about love. And you know what? If you love yourself, go ahead and love yourself. Because there's nothing wrong with that.
Excellent. Okay, Cyborg, now it's time for the hard questions.
Uh-oh.
You ready? These are the harder questions. This is where it gets real.
The really hard ones?
The really hard ones.
Uh-oh.
You ready?
I'm gonna do my best.
Okay. So the last time that me and you got together, we talked about the Kitten Marching Band. And we walked around and we asked all of our friends what they did in the cat band and how they got here. But we never really got to find out how you became part of the cat band. So, Cyborg, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people who would love to know how you got your beginnings in the cat band and when you met up with us.
Okay. Wow, that takes me back such a long time. Well, in the very beginning, I was the little pink kitten. And all I did was take my microphone and go around and sing. Didn't really matter if people listened to me, but it was great when they did. So I just kept doing it. And one day I decided, if I'm a kitten, I should be with the Kittenband. And that's when I met up with Talon and he was streaming. And there was a whole bunch of world leaders at the time. There was you, there was Doc, there was Chaw, there was Swabbleboo, and so many others that I can't even think of them right now. And they all said, oh wow, she's really cute. And I just I stuck with it. And look where I am now. Answering questions, asking questions, and just hanging out with you guys.
Wow, that's pretty cool. I like that. Alright. So, you eventually found your way into the cat band. And you eventually got to meet up with a bunch of us. But also, you actually have moved up through the ranks quite a bit. So, Cyborg, you became a member, and you surpassed that by becoming a march leader. But you eventually became a parade manager. So why don't you tell me a little bit about that?
Well, being a march leader was great. I got to go around, I got to sing songs, and I got to dance around with a bunch of colorful kittens. And that's all, it's great because you get to march and sing and be with kittens, and being a march leader was so much fun. And then when they asked me, and, I'm sorry, I get so excited when they asked me to look at the people. Look at the people.
To look at the people. And I sat down and still me. I sat down and I realized that there's so much more to this than just going around in a bunch of different worlds and just as colorful little kittens playing music. You know, we had a purpose, and we still do have that purpose. The point of the Kitten Marching Band is to spread love and positivity, and that sounds really corny, but what I realized what I had to do to be a marching kitten was not to just go around in worlds and play music. I had to help the people around me. So I started talking to people, and I started to get to know them. And then one of the most magical things about being in this community is that there is a person behind every avatar, behind every model, behind every effect. There's a person doing all that. And the magical part is getting to know the person. And when I became a parade manager, my job became a part of that. It became something of, you have to make people realize that what we're doing isn't all just fun and games. There's a reason behind it. There's an ultimate goal. And that goal is that no person should ever feel like they're alone. Because as a community, we stand by each other, we support each other, and we'll always be there to pick you up if you ever feel like you fell down.
Excellent. I love that. So obviously, from the Cat Band from a year ago, we've all talked about it before. It has grown and become much, much more than just a VR chat meme group that was started at one point in time. Now it's even more than most of us ever thought it was going to be, and half of us thought it was never going to get that far. So out of all that, what do you think was probably one of the most interesting moments in the Cat Band? Something that kind of was a massive polarity shift, something that made it seem like, oh, there's more to it than just a community. It's now bigger than a community. Now it's actually like almost like a family. When did you finally feel, I should say, when you were like part of that group? And you like felt responsible for it? When was that? And how did that go down?
I guess the most I could say without getting too personal is I think what really did it for me was I was at a very difficult point in my life. And I didn't really know if what I was doing mattered, like, at all. It was like, what am I doing? It's not going to amount to anything. I'm wasting my time. No one looks at this and think of it as an accomplishment. I don't do accomplishments. All I do are failures. And, what's the point? I'm more or less just stuck in this rut, and there's no way I can get out. Well, I kind of let some people in the Cat Band about how I felt, and they told me that it's okay to feel like that, but it's not true. Everything we do, everything we think about, has meaning, like marches. There's a reason why we do something, and that reason's going to have an outcome if we keep doing it. It's not easy. We have to keep working. And sometimes it feels like the work just completely overtakes us, but when the Cat Band was there to support me in my time of need, I feel like that's when I really found a group that was willing to listen to me, that was willing to try to understand things from my point of view, and even offered me advice when the situation called for it. It's to the point where I'm not sure what state I would be in right now if it wasn't for the KMB. And that's when I really felt like I was a part of something so big that I just want to see it keep growing.
That's great. That's actually one of the things that I personally enjoy about the community, is that not only are we just a group of friends, but on a different level, we all do care about each other to a certain extent, and like it shows by, you know, people reaching out at certain points in time. It may not be everybody all at once, but you know, at a certain moment, you know, you eventually get a chance to talk pretty real with just about everybody in the cat band. So, out of all the people that you've met in the cat band, all of them, who would say inspired you the most to be where you are today?
Well, that one's a really tough one. This is probably the hardest one you've asked because
who was there to drag you up? Like, who helped you out? Like, basically what I'm asking is who was kind of like your mentor to kind of pull you into the cat band and get you acclimated and help you out along the way? Or there could be more than one, too.
Oh, are you ready for a list?
How about 5?
5? Okay.
So 5 people that have inspired you in the cat band and have helped you got to where you are today.
Well, definitely, you know, the first person I would have to thank is Talon, because I would probably not even have been around because he was streaming at the time, and a lot of people, you know, saw my character, saw who I was, and that's where I kind of got my big lift. Another person I would have to thank is Dark. I mean, Dark is that guy always seems to be there for me, man. And he always seems to be there for anyone. His door is always open. He always does his best to make sure that everyone has, you know, something that pleases them, that the server is up to their standards, up to, you know, yeah, that guy works his ass off. And, oh, pardon me, I said oopsie. Just to make sure that everyone and everything is, like, running smoothly. Another person I would have to thank is probably... Oh, man, there are so many. That's why it's, like, I don't know. Hard time limiting it to 5. Strababoo. Strababoo's another person that I have to definitely thank, because out of all the people that was, you know, out of the higher ups, I guess you could say at the time, she was one of the first. And because she was so open to just talk with me and everyone, I felt really comfortable when it came to talking with the mods. And she helped me out with some pricing on my commissions that I'm going to be doing soon. And I mean, I don't know if I would even be open to any of that, of showing anyone my work, if I hadn't talked to her first. Another person that I think... Shadowed is another person. Oh god, Shadowed is always like getting things together. He does casts. I mean, he has so many ideas. He's always in the art team. He, I mean, it's like, it's funny because Bimby and Darker are, you know, pretty much the one putting everything on Redbubble. But whenever I see like a merchandising team ping, it's him, man. He's always making sure that the media is up to snuff, and it's. I don't know, like, what, I mean, would we even have, like, a Pawcast if he got involved? I'm pretty sure he had a really big hand in that, too. And the 5th person? I'm gonna put you on the spot, Tranquil, it'd be you. I mean, you're the one that, don't act surprised, man, you're the one that allowed me to have this segment. You're the one that takes the time out of his day to record me just talking or going around asking fun and dumb questions to random people. You're the one that fixes up the audio. You're the one that it kind of like gets everyone together to get the podcast going. I mean, you have done several I mean, I don't know what the word, computer stuff, I don't know what to call it. You know, when you try to make like something look pretty and they need a really nice machine to run it, you got that, man. Even you've helped me out with tech stuff before, I remember. So it's just, you know, and those are only 5 people. You know, like I said, those are 5 people that I can think off the top of my head right now. If I were to continue listing, it would go on forever. So don't feel bad if I didn't say your name, because believe me, I am thinking of you right now.
Everybody in the Cat Band plays their part doing something. Whether it's me dealing with the podcast or Shadow dealing with the world team and the art team on the KMB side of things, or it's Bimby and Dark dealing with, all of us. Everybody has their role, but everybody actually fits into their role really well, just like you did. And that's why, a lot of us thought that you do a really good job as a world leader, or, well, a parade manager now.
Yeah, and I take this role with responsibility and pride, and I'm hoping to really just kind of put a smile on people's faces and to kind of bring everyone together for many more years to come. I mean, the Kitten Marching Band has become my family, and I intend to take care of this family because you guys took care of me.
I love it. Okay. Got another one for you. So since you've been around for a while, right? You've been here for, I would say,
Yeah.
Go almost a year now, because I remember we probably met up with you probably around March or May, around that time.
It was definitely around the Cat Band's beginnings. I think the time you guys first saw me is when
Probably
the world...
February then.
Yeah, very first expanded, because I remember when they just had the cat models. I remember the world at its very beginnings, but I think it was the very first time, because like I said, Talon was streaming it, and he was probably streaming like, oh, new world, it's open, and it's great.
Okay, so yeah, probably a year for sure. At least by now. Yep. So you've come along, you've gained a lot of knowledge, you've gained a lot of wisdom along the way. So if you were to address, like new cat members, new march leaders, or old members that are thinking of becoming march leaders, or just anyone in the Cat Band in general that feels like they're probably not doing enough, what would your advice to them be?
My advice to you guys would be, if you feel like you're doing enough, well, first stop, because you are. Everyone in the Cat Band does what they can, and if you think that you're not doing enough, well, you are doing enough. You are showing up, and you're being a part of this community, and you're communicating with people, and you're talking with people, and I feel like some people get really upset when they can't do marches, and that's totally understandable. A lot of us can't do marches right now because the reality is that we are humans with lives. We have responsibilities to fill out. We have school, we have work, we have other studies, we have family, we have friends, we have a social life. My only real advice, I guess, I can give, if you feel like that you're not doing enough, just pop in the Discord or pop in VR chat and just talk with us. Just communicate. If you have something on your mind, go ahead and say it. We have so many text channels. If you are working on an art piece, go ahead and share it. We love to see what people are working on. If you're streaming, go ahead and show us your stream. We'd love to watch you. We are a community that is focused and centered around supporting people and making sure they feel like they are successful and loved. We're not about being judgmental. We're not about, ignoring anyone. Our server is well modded, and it is, it's set up properly to allow people to come in to just express themselves, to just be themselves, without feeling they're going to be just absolutely torn apart or ridiculed, because that's not what we're about. We're about positivity and acceptance.
Excellent. That's actually one thing that I've noticed with a lot of people is that they're always kind of intimidated by the, world leaders or march leaders or the higher ups. And that's one thing that, I know Dark and myself and Shadowed and Char have always been working towards, making it very apparent that, like, this isn't a job, this is a community. You're here to, make friends and have fun. If you want to do stuff for the community, that's cool and all, but, everybody has a limit, and some people can give more than others. No one should feel embarrassed that they can't give more.
Yeah, and it's like, so it's some people, I understand that work is a pain in the butt, and it's, again, it's like, don't ever, if you don't want to do it, that's fine, because like I said, work's a pain in the butt and you have real life stuff to do, but the people who love to do it, great. That's my thing. If you love to do it, go ahead and do it. That's another thing. Don't be afraid to do something that you love because you might do a bad job or you might not do enough. I mean, I don't think he had to, but when Char said it's like, hey, you can like rank up and there's so much more you got to do. I mean, he was so excited. I remember he said he went ahead and took it because he was so excited to just help people. Now he's like, there's so much more I can do. There's so much more I can help them with, and now things will be easier on them and it'll be great. And it's just, I mean, he was so excited to hear about that. And again, outside the Kittenband community, Savage, he's going into the military, and I mean, bless him, man. To be doing that, that's a huge commitment, and that's a great example of, being a member, outside of the Discord or VR chat is, I mean, he's helping out his community, he's helping his country. I mean, that's a huge commitment. So, like I said, there's just, oh man, there's so much that can be done. But don't ever feel intimidated that you're not doing enough, and don't ever feel intimidated to do something. Because I know some people, they want to do more, but they just get scared. But it's just, you do you. That's all I got. That's how I could sum it up. That's how I could stop my rambling. You do you.
Yeah, like, people come here, we get together, we play games, we BS on VR chat. Occasionally we'll have an event. I mean, it's just business as usual. Alright, Cyborg. You ready for another one? You ready for the wind-up?
Yes, I am.
Right.
I'm ready for the wind-up.
Alright. So, a lot of things have happened in the Cat Band from the time you have been here, from the time I have been here, up until now. Events, marches, meetings, several hour-long meetings. Out of all of the things in the Cat Band that has happened, so let's sum it up to events, meetings, and marches. Out of all of those things, was there ever a moment where you took some inspirational thing and kind of was like, oh wow, this is amazing what this is, like, kind of gave you a little bit more definition of what the Cat Band really was?
I remember I suggested a few times about having a podcast, because I think a podcast would be a perfect idea to go out and to talk to, the people of this community. That's how we're having this kitty on the corner. That's how we have, the What's Poppin' segment. That's how we are able to advertise our merchandise on redbubble.com, that you should definitely go and take a look at. Okay, ad over. But I feel that
plug that
I think that I think I suggested the podcast, and the podcast had some really rocky beginnings. It was pretty difficult to get off the ground, and it makes sense because it's not something easy you could just go ahead and put together. There's a lot of planning behind it. But when I went around and told people, and they really liked that idea, they had the same idea, and of course, why wouldn't they? And when you kind of came up and said, hey, we can give people segments, and I have
My other true self? And where you said you want to go around, you want to ask people questions like this? Well,
I kind of thought, I love doing that voice. I love doing that voice because it makes a lot of people laugh. It makes a lot of people smile. I say a lot of silly things in that silly voice. So I guess what I could say is, if I'm even, God, I've rambled so much. That's a problem, I ramble, and then I can't answer the question, but I guess the most inspirational thing that's kind of happened is I was able to do this voice more often, and now everyone can hear it. And now everyone can, request questions, and, it's like, I want her to say this, and, they could do that. It's kind of, out of all the things that I thought I wouldn't, of all the things that I thought I had that would kind of take me somewhere, I never once thought it would be what I could do with my voice. And with all the games, meetings, events, and even just talking to you guys have proven that my voice has done a lot, let me tell you that. So, yeah, I mean, really, again, like I said, if the KMB wasn't here, Cyborg Wizard wouldn't be here. So always remember that.
That's very true. We wouldn't have a lot of our members if the KMB wasn't here. And on top of that, a lot of us wouldn't have met one another, and that kind of makes me sad when I think about it that way, because I've met you, obviously, and so many other amazing people in the KMB, that it's kind of almost an honor, but at the same time, it's like, I was also part of this too, I helped as well, so it feels great to know that in a small way I had a helping hand in making this a bigger community. And so does a lot of people, there's many people, if not several hundred people that are involved in that, and they don't even know it. I mean, they show up to the server, they say hi, they screw around, they drop some memes. Just doing that creates a community, because one day that might create a connection, that may create a friend, which creates a bond, and that, they may become more active, they may not. They may make friends and go off into a different server. Regardless, the Kittenband pretty much did its job. It accomplished its goal by basically spreading love and happiness and friendship. And that's pretty much what it is. It's just a community of people getting together.
Doing things that they love and enjoy. And really, I can't think of anything else that would be better.
Exactly. Alright, Cyborg. Last question. Actually,
alright.
Last response.
Last response?
Yeah. So, out of all the members in the podcast, there's many.
All of them.
Out of all of them. I would like you to thank them all for helping us create this wonderful podcast that we have today. Because if it wasn't for you, me, and everyone else in the podcast, we wouldn't be doing this. Or we would be, and we'd just be insane.
Exactly. Oh, God. But yes, absolutely. Just thank you, everyone. Like, me. Cyborg Wizard, and not even just the character at this point, the person sitting at the desk with the microphone, like, Melissa, I am, that's my name. I am thanking you guys. I'm thanking you, the community. You have no idea how much you have made, how much you've created just by being here. I mean, I myself, like I said before, I don't know where I would even be if it wasn't for this group, if it wasn't for this community. I mean, I'd be going through utter hell. I'd say that. I would be having absolutely the worst time of my life. But you guys are right there, you know, pulling through for me. And, you know, I can't just thank you guys enough for being by my side when I needed you most. And I really want to be there for you guys too, so never be afraid to step forward, because I'll always do my best to answer that call, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. You know, as a person, as a kitten marching band member, I mean that, because that's what we're here for, to spread love and positivity.
Excellent. Thank you, Cyborg. I think the KMB knows a lot more about you now. And that's great, because, I mean, for some of the people who don't know you, they get to find out what a great person you really are.
Oh, thank you. And, you know, like I said, just come up to me, because I want to know who you guys are. You guys are great people, and I need to know just who these great people are, who are behind me, or even standing beside me again, just pushing me forward. Huh. I really have been part of this community for a long time now. You know, I always appreciated it. And believe me, there was never a moment where I didn't, but answering these questions really made me sit down and think just how much this group has not only supported me, but I see you helping people every day, and that is amazing. You know, it's, again, just, we are more than little colorful kitten models. We're more than silly little avatars. We are people behind the screens, typing out what we mean, saying what we think, and doing everything we can to help out each other. And if that isn't what the KMB isn't about, then gosh darn it, then I shouldn't be a parade manager. So, I really want to take this moment from the bottom of my heart again to thank you guys. Because without this, there wouldn't really be anything for me to be happy about. Because you guys make me realize what I should be happy about, what I should appreciate. I appreciate you guys every single day. So with that, I want to say, Cyborg Wizard, also known as Melissa, signing off. Love you guys.